Never in my widest imagination that a day will come in Nigeria when they're going to play politics with the life and the future of our children. You guys saw what happened yesterday, where the Jamb registrar came out to apologize over what happened to the Jamb results that just came out recently, where most of the students were crying all over the place that they know what they wrote, that this is not their result, this, and even many people have already come out to say, you people, you people are not reading because of social media, this and that. But at the end of the day, the Jamb registrar came out yesterday and said it was a technical glitch. And surprisingly, this affected only 5 states in Southeast as well as in Lagos, where this area in Lagos is mainly Igbos, right? So people are saying that this is intentional. They did this deliberately. You guys know recently that this competition of where the best student is going to come out from, like these people are playing politics with everything, even to the extent they're not playing politics with the future of our children. This is really, really heartbreaking. What is it when anything mistake happen in Nigeria? It's only Igbos that is going to affect. Like, why? So what is going on? Now they're saying they're going to, rewrite the Jamb, this and that. So if technical glitch is capable of reducing the mark of the student, then it's also capable of increasing the mark of student, right? So the best decision right now is to outrightly cancel all the Jamb results and then let all the students, rewrite it, because this is not fair. And these people are not putting into consideration the mental health of these children. Do you know that a student by herself because of this Jamb mistake? Like, are they going to bring that girl back to life? Like, I don't get it. Even as much as we are trying so hard not to put sentiment, in this matter, but truth is that it is obvious that whatever that happened concerning this Jamb result, like, it was deliberate, like it was intentional. You can't even tell me nothing, honestly. Why only 5 states in the Southeast? Like, why? Why? Let me allow you guys to listen to Arise Television to hear what they have to say concerning this matter, as well as what other people are saying as well. Just take a listen.
Nigerians have been reacting to the admission by the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board that a technical error compromised the results of more than 370,000 candidates in the 2025 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination at 157 centers nationwide. Jamb Registrar Ishak Oluyode, during a press conference in Abuja, broke down in tears, saying that he holds himself personally responsible for the error and for the negligence of the service provider, and then proceeded to tender an unreserved apology. Let's take a look before we share some reactions.
As Registrar of Jamb, I hold myself personally responsible including for the negligence of the service provider and I unreservedly apologize for it. We unanimously agreed that each state of the Federation be sampled. No sign of any abnormality so far has been detected in any center outside the ones mentioned. So I appeal to the candidates and those affected by the error of our system to accept the explanation I've given as the truth on this matter. I apologize and take full responsibility, not just in words. I want to say a big thank you to all of you, and may God bless us all.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yes.
This was quite commendable by the Jamb registrar, owning responsibility to this sort of, I would call it tragedy, because a 19-year-old girl died, Temileng, I believe her name is, like you said, Dr. Abati. And, you know, Jamb has said that they will conduct a rescheduled UTME for all affected candidates starting Friday, May 16th, and the candidates will be notified via SMS and email and phone calls. But Nigerians have reacted. Let me take this Kalu Aja's tweet. He wrote, "My thoughts are with Nigeria's children who face mental trauma from their nation for wanting to sit for an exam. The Jamb exam is pivotal for every Nigerian child, determining higher education and future opportunities. Students spend a year preparing with extra classes, coaching, and pressure from parents, schools, and peers. Imagine the emotional roller coaster they've endured. Anxiety before the exam, stress during the exam, shame for failing, depression. Now, what do they feel? Relief? If Nigeria were more organized, these children would receive psychological evaluations before being asked to rewrite an exam. They were told they failed due to no fault of theirs. We have scarred these children and the nation. If a child fails to resist, they will accept the result. Will parents not claim the entire process is now fruits of a poisonous tree? These kids need strong counseling. I pray parents, teachers, guardians, and state governments provide this emotional support. Children are too young for Nigeria to happen to them." And, you know, I think Kalu Aja's tweet is quite apt, especially, you know, about the emotional support that these children that have to rewrite this exam may feel after they were told that they failed. Yesterday on What's Trending, we played those videos of those young girls, and we had a conversation actually after the show about students who say, listen, I know what I wrote in my exam. I know I did not fail. And I told you guys yesterday that this is what I tell my children. I ask them, did you pass? And when they tell me I'm not sure, I say, then you failed, because you don't know what you wrote. But if you're sure and you're confident in what you have written, then you know that you really deserve the credit that you got. Let me take another tweet, which, you know, a lot of people have talked about. This is from Idan, who wrote, "So it's possible they tampered with this girl's result from the back end. Jamb has proven time and again that it can't be trusted with something as critical as an exam that determines the future of thousands. A child has already taken their own life because of this." And that's the picture of, I believe, Mesoma, the young girl who, I believe last year was, you know, she had said that Jamb had tampered with her result and that there was a finding, and then they said that, you know, it wasn't Jamb, that she had cheated. And these are the sort of conversations Nigerians are asking, hey, what's really happening? Why did this happen? But it's good that Jamb has accepted responsibility. We hope that the federal government find a way to, you know, provide some sort of counseling for our young children, for them to be able to take the next step of their life with confidence. Vimbai.
You know, earlier when we touched on this topic, I gave a bit of the historical antecedent,
yes,
which is why, because some people might wonder, well, why is this such an emotional issue? It's because there's a historic legacy around it, where we've seen, I read some newspaper front pages from the past, 1993, where they were reporting that what is the future of Jamb? There's too much controversy. Should in that particular article in 1993, they were saying, should it be scrapped in totality? In 1998, when Jamb was celebrating 20 years, they were saying after 20 years, did Jamb deserve a pass mark for the work that they have done? And it's the same story over and over again. I just opened another one now from 1997. PM News front page, Jamb announces 95,000 results. Lagos candidates most affected. So there's a systemic thing, a recurring issues that we're seeing, which shows you that, yes, as much as this one is a technical glitch, it shows you that there's also a cultural issue within the organization, yes, that needs to be looked at. Now, why are we highlighting Professor Oloyede? Because Professor Oloyede is one of those few people who've been bold enough to actually come and face it and confront it head on and say, we have made a mistake. There is a challenge, there is an issue. So I hope that this can be a turning point in this organization. Now, for those students, oh my goodness, if you see how students around the world feel when it's time for GCSEs, O-levels, A-levels, it is a time of high stress and anxiety because this is a rite of passage into adulthood. We know the situation in Nigeria and how difficult it is already to get a job, even with the degree, with the certificate, with the qualification, even with that. And now you say, just to get the admission into the university is a struggle as well. So I think that definitely we need more support structures for our students, not just as a means of damage control because something has happened, but generally, how supportive are we? Because even if you look at the actual quality of education itself, there's some issues that need to be addressed there. Now there are issues of mental health surrounding especially exam periods and so forth. Those are issues that we really need to look at holistically when we are looking at education and issues surrounding education. Very lastly, Minister of Education had made a statement saying that this was a sign of some corrections that they had made to address exam malpractice. And I wish he maybe hadn't rushed to make that statement because it's now clear that there really was an error.
Dr. But I believe you want to say
Okay,
something.
this point about systemic failure, should be backed by appropriate context. Yes, there were problems in Jamb, but in the past, all these 1997 articles, 1996 articles, those were issues in the past. When Professor Oloyede took over in 2016, he took over from Professor Dibu Ejerinde. One of the things he has been praised for is the reforms that he has been able to initiate in the place in terms of, staffing, in terms of computer-based test systems, in terms of revenue generation, in terms of transparency and accountability. So it would be incorrect to use articles from 1997 to assess the Jamb of today. The second point, which Professor Oloyede himself made, is that, look, man proposes, God disposes. But in this case, the big tragedy is that a life was lost.
Yes.
The remedy that is now being applied will not apply to Timileyin Okweshusi, who committed suicide. Now, what exactly happened is the deployment of what they call a software patch, which they now discovered that some of the service providers could not apply properly. Which means that if you wrote an exam, you answered 100 questions in a particular subject, because of the wrong deployment of that software patch, you may be assessed only for 25 or 50 questions. And then the remaining 50 questions will not be uploaded. And that is why I think the challenge for Jamb is to realize that technology is not perfect. And that, it's a trial and error process until you perfect it. Usually before any exam, there is mock examination where all these things are tested. Still, it failed. That means that's an area, as Professor Oloyede continues with his reform, that he has to look at. Now, opportunities have now been given for remedial exam. The reason they have to do it within this available window very quickly is because WAEC is also running exams. Some of these students who are going to write this exam, they also have WAEC exams. After WAEC exam, there is NECO. Universities are going to, go back. There will be resumption in September. So there's timing. But I just hope that the appropriate lessons will be learned on all sides.
Yeah, I just want to give a very little historical background. You see, like Sheikh Chukwudi said, people are left with no choice than to look at patterns and couple with improper explanation deliberately and now begin to feel that it is tribal. In 1952, data showed that the premier university in Nigeria, University of Ibadan, Ndi Igbo had just 3 students less than the student of the whole of Western region. Just 3 students less. Within that same period, and there is a Lagos State population census, as well as Lagos State population census of 2006 under Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that was able to put together and prove for those that have access to the 2006 own, But that of 1950 something and 1940 something is available online, especially on JSTOR, proving that in Lagos State, after the indigenous population, the Igbo has not below 50% of the population then. And the 2006 proved that that population, 50% of non-indigenous, that Igbo control in Lagos has gone up more than twice of that. So it's not by mistake that this affected Lagos and then affected the whole of Igbo land. Is intentional. You see, this glitch thing, by the way, if you check the meaning of glitch, it has to do with errors from machine manufacturing. It has nothing to do with human error. Human errors are not glitch. And this is the pattern they want to adopt. This is just a trial. If you know how Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu works as a politician, you will see that within time, this Ishak Oloyede will not, even if he's forced to resign, he will be recommended for something higher, for giving them a platform and a pattern to deal with the people. Everybody in Nigeria will not shout about this. It is only in Igbo. So it is intentional. Let me tell you something, just like someone said here earlier on. If it were to be a glitch, and you feel you want to correct it, because when you fill a form online and you submit, the first thing the form does that it saves. The only thing you need to do is to pull out a particular disk where you have all the submitted work. You run a new whatever software, then you reload the data. Jamb begin to falter and begin to fear because Onya begin to demand that we want to see, the students want to see their exam scripts. They want to see that what they ticked was what they marked. Meaning that with that database, Jamb can afford to print out all the questions that all the students wrote. After all, they are all OBJ. You cannot be, be marked down by expression. It is from A to A, B, C, D, or E. So they knew that if they don't come out to put out this charade they put up now and quickly begin to cajole people to go rewrite, if they are compared to bring out what these students wrote, the shame will be on them the more. It is deliberate. Igbo is targeted. If you take time to look at the places affected in Lagos, you are going to see also the Solo, the area that cover Agopala, Sue, Okota, and Co. The first stack area. You're going to see the Etiosa, the area that covered VI, Aja, Ekpe. You are going to see Sulere. You are going to see the places where this Igbo that made up over 50% of non-indigenous population in Lagos stays. It is deliberate. They put it together and they ran it as a trial. If nothing happens now, it becomes a system they will always adopt. The danger of this kind of thing is that it means that even in our own premier universities, UNN, UNIZIK, and so many like that, you might have it impossible to actually admit your own people, even when they are very good. But because they did not score up to the level to actually take part in post UNTE. You know what that also means? It also means that with this kind of madness they call glitch, even though glitch has to do with mistakes made by machine, manufacturing, not human error. Because Sonia said it is obviously a human error. And remember, there's a thin line between malicious wickedness and human error. Are there independent investigators who could look at this software and actually come out to tell us it is not deliberate, even though I know, because I can see the pattern. The pattern is obvious. Shebi una Bibo, una say una they go to school. We are going to actually show you people. There's no two ways about it. Anyway, Jack, I appreciate this opportunity you gave to me. I just feel that we have to pursue it on a Hydra-headed platform. Just like Chikodi said suing, we have to sue them. Just like Oya is also pursuing it in a diplomatic way, strategic diplomacy, we have to also pursue it. We have to have lawyers, whether small lawyers, young lawyers, multiple sue. I can assure you, not too long. You see some people come online and say they want to counter sue us. You see some people come online and say this man will not go. We know it. It happens in Nigeria every day. But it is intentional. Our argument should also be channeled. Why are Igbo lands subordinate to Lagos in terms of Jamb software? If we are actually Southeast, as they call us, should we not actually have our own where a particular disk or server takes care of these people? A lot is happening to Ndigo, and I'm not trying everywhere. I'm sorry, I can't really conclude. I'm not trying everywhere. Somehow, it's na Germany. Like one of our brother, Ndibo was the only people jello ara. Yet, Luzo, yet Ndinus Alcohol, now chop another of. It's not only on Jamb. It is also a policy that government has employed, and they've been doing it. I just hope that we're able to give them enough trouble. And at the end of the day, you can only die once. I yield the mic.
I couldn't help thinking that the reason we're where we are in Nigeria is because we're always willing to negotiate, step back, forgive. We now have a culture, like what we are teaching these kids is that doing everything right gets you nothing. Nigeria has offered these kids nothing. They've probably all paid their school fees. Most of them bought their Jamb forms themselves. They've worked hard. They've worked without electricity. They've worked without water. They have literally gotten themselves to this point. And the only thing that they expected from this godforsaken people is to actually mark their exams. Like they've done everything that is expected of them. The same things that is done in other countries, and then they get results. And then now we're telling them that everything that they worked for stands for nothing and that they should retake this exam. And we've accepted that these kids should take this exam again without understanding, without even like having a true understanding of what happened and why they are being put in this position. What are we teaching them? What are we teaching our children? And I think we need to start addressing things from that perspective, because this is what happened. This is the same nonsense that INEC pulled, glitch, and here we are with the worst government that that we've ever had to experience, and we're about through this at such a tender age. Somebody has died. A child killed herself because of this exam. Aren't we tired of all the time people are dying for nothing in Nigeria? Can we stand for one person? Most of the things that have happened in Nigeria have caused revolutions in other places. Yet here we stand over and over and over and over and over again, people dying for nothing. So I'm asking that please, for the first time, that at least we push back. Let it be that we did not win, right? But like, okay, they have done their bit, but there's more of us. So even if 10 of them went into that room, there's millions of us, and we should fight for these children. That even if they have to retake that exam, right? Because we understand that for whatever reason, it's impossible to mark those scripts as is right now, but that they understand why they're being made to go through this, that somebody is held accountable. People are held accountable before we put them through that. Thank you.
Do you understand? I will be ashamed of myself because the way I see it, I wrote Jambo. Do you understand? All of us who've been through these processes, we know what you go through to actually do these things in Nigeria. We know what these kids actually went through to write these exams. So let nobody come here and make it look like, oh, it's a simple thing. You understand? You paid for these exams. You catered for your accommodation. You were meant to wake up in unholy hours and risk your life to go to Jamb centers by 6:30 a.m. On top of that, somebody has not been able to pay for actually, whatever glitch or whatever error that happened or whatever thing. It It's a negligence. Somebody need to pay for it. We need to see it that somebody actually went to jail or somebody was meant to pay for this or meant to pay for that. That is what we're saying. You need to address this. If you want to address it as quick as possible, do that. You understand? I believe that they can still write jump in between WAEC timetables. You know, if that is what has to happen, let it happen. But JAMB cannot be allowed to force these children to go. Even if it's by night, we need to get the court injunction. We need to do it. I think that that is the right thing to do. I am convinced deep down in my heart. Even if I have Osita Chidoka here and Alex on here, I will argue very strongly and tell them that this is the right thing to do. For once, let us do the right things in this country and get people to pay for their sins. Not every other time we go just relax. That is how we allow these people to announce results, a fake result by 4 a.m. That is how. That is how our lives has been turned upside down for the past 2 years. That is how. I'm so angered. Anyways, for whatever it takes, I think that we should actually go ahead and do this. Honestly, that's how I feel about it. But anyway, let's get some more opinions. So, Jimmy, you have been coming up and going on, going down. Please, let's get your opinion, and then we can go to other people. Thank you, Jimmy.
All right, thank you, guys. Thanks. I've been going up and down, really and truly. I'm gonna be quick with this. So I already made a tweet about it. My opinion on this: it's not a glitch. It's a coordinated assault on a certain region of that country. You can't call it whatever it is you want to call it, but it is just too much of a coincidence that a certain people, certain region of that country, had to go through this. So the number one thing that is actually meant to happen right now is the deliberate, the fact that they should acknowledge that it's a deliberate educational assault, and it's targeted at the southeastern part of the country. I mean, we're not blind, for crying out loud. We can see the figures, and we can see the regions that are well affected by this. The students, they burnt candle in the midnight. And the way this thing happened, it wasn't as if Jam came out to say, hold up, something went wrong. Nah, it was the compilation of complaints from students, compilation of complaints from parents that led to this. It was the pressure that led to this. And upon that, a lady, a young girl, killed herself because of this. How disappointed she was because of this. I think, in as much as we know that Nigeria has become a country that that doesn't respect rule of law, I strongly believe some steps need to be taken. And it's not because you expect or you're hopeful that something needs to be done. It's we can call it a paper trail to show that due diligence were followed the way it's meant to in the same client. Okay, that needs to happen to build confidence in certain institutions in that country that needs to still uphold what we call justice. Um, you cannot go about this the harsh way, but I think what people need to do needs to be coordinated. It needs to be a coordinated attempt. So I think a protest is not a bad idea. It might not end up the way people want it to end up. Again, paper trail. Show the people of your displeasure. Let them know this is a targeted situation and you need to call it out for what it is. It is not for violence, but you're doing it for the visibility of letting people know that you're demanding for independent audit of these results. Then you can approach the senators of the five eastern states, the House of Reps, the governors, approach them, reach out to them, put pressure on them, let them speak about what is going on right now, what had happened, the madness that has befallen the southeastern part of that country. Make this a media thing. Make it a media thing. Petition international media, human rights bodies, contact. Make it a paper trail whereby they know you made these moves regarding this. This isn't a call for tribal chaos. Let me put that outright. It is not a call for tribal chaos. This is a call for justice, fairness, and equity. If the system can fail you in silence, then you must make noise until silence is no more possible. You need to do something. And the Southeasterners, what you're doing is you're demanding a fair playing ground for your kids. You're demanding that hard work should count, not where your tribal personality befalls. No, that's not the point. You're asking for accountability. And if you suppress people's access to education, you provoke their fight for dignity. That one is you can't go back and forth on that one. But lastly, what I will suggest is this. My suggestion, besides what I've just mentioned now, I think the whole goddamn jam needs to be cancelled. They need to rewrite the whole jam. The percentage of people that error happened to, it is so concerning. Number one, they don't even know. They said it's human glitch. I don't care whatever glitch it is. That glitch might have actually substituted people's grades to another people who don't sabi anything. They don't carry so they've passed, right? This is huge enough for the whole goddamn jam for 2025 to be eradicated or rewritten. Let me put it that way. To be rewritten. And the student that actually got affected by this error, they will be justified based on that. They will be justified because, number one, what is the possibility that the people that you claimed passed, they actually did pass that jam? The errors are just too much. We're not talking about 100 people, 200, 300. We're talking about hundreds of thousands of people. Let's not forget that it's focused on a specific region. The reason why we should be pushing for this is because of the violation of principle of fairness. Principle of fairness. Everyone that wrote that jam, they need to have it. There needs to be a stigma on the educational system of that country that so thing happened that made people cancel jam for that year. This should be it. So it won't look like some people passed jam, some people did not. No. The calamity is so huge enough to justify them rewriting all the. If you know, say you sabi book, you knew what you read for, you were prepared for, why can't you write your jam? So it's absolutely unfair because we don't know the extent of the glitch. It could be a glitch that substituted or switched marks. We never knew. So we need to look into this and the massive impact on university admission. We need to think about that as well. The chunk, close to 400,000 students. It is coming from a specific region, guys. Specific region. Man, it's absolutely insane. And for that, for JAM to build their credibility amongst international community, amongst national community, amongst the students and parents, they need to rewrite that jam. Not just for the people that actually failed it, but for the whole people that wrote that jam. Because the integrity of jam has been tampered with. So hold on. They want to rush people to write jam on Friday and Saturday. So what happens if they don't pass? Because they need time. So what is this based on? Are they going to rewrite? Is it going to be a different question? Are they going to repeat the same question for? I don't get it. So it's easy for them to say, they will rewrite it Friday, and it takes time. It takes them a bloody 1 year to prepare for jam, and you want them to rewrite. So you going in front of the TV and just crying, that's just bull crap. We don't need all that. That's the sentimental bullshit we've been fed all along. And they will tell you, it's a mistake. God has written it that they will fail it. It's a lie. Someone made an error. Let them pay for it, God damn it. Let them pay for that mistake. Let them know how expensive it is so it will never happen again. When you do the crime, you gotta do the time. We don't have this habit of making people pay for what they've done in Nigeria. And that's the reason why people keep getting away with things. They will beg everybody now in the name of God everywhere, Marset. Everywhere. Pastors will start putting mouth now. It is the will of God. Everywhere will be quiet. No, it is not. Brilliant students were targeted. I mean, it's just too much of a coincidence. And the fact that they will rewrite the whole jam is passing the message that that's the way they can convince the people that this is not a regional, it's not a regional target. It's not a regional crime. It's not an injustice. It was genuinely a mistake. But the fact that you're now saying only the people that error happened to are going to rewrite it, you've already targeted a certain amount of people. Are you saying the people that the error didn't affect, they are smarter than the people the error affected? What is the error about? Do we understand the context of that error? How deep that error is? What is that error about? We don't understand. There need to be forensic investigation into this human error. What human error means someone deliberately switched marks for certain region to another region. Computer error is different, but they say this one are human error. You logged into the system and you did what you're meant to not do. That is human error. You deliberately go there and you did something. Who is that person that did that thing? Accountability. And it is a way of taking legal and ethical responsibility that, you know what, we fucked up. And whatever the people want. And this is what the southeastern part of that country should be demanding. Number one, if they are going to be writing anything, it will be the whole student that wrote Jamb. It will be the whole demand for that. One set of people cannot say they pass Jamb, and another set say error, glitch happen. How are we certain that the figure they gave us about that glitch is the actual figure? How are we sure that is the figure maybe they are reducing it for us not to get mad? Do you know how wild, how crazy the glitch is? Integrity. It has been stained, and the only way they can clean that up, in as much as we don't even expect anything good from Nigeria, but with this, number one, someone's life has gone because of this. They should rewrite that jam. I'm saying it on the public. They should rewrite. That should be the demand. Nothing concern us with concern say university go rip. That is their own bloody business. When there is a problem, we sort out that current problem before we focus on another one. There is a reason why some countries do their elections. They change date of their elections. Something happened for that thing to change. Let it be that this expensive mistake is the reason why maybe they changed the resumption date on yearly resumption for students in university. Let it so be it. It's as simple as that. And we need a digital infrastructural accountability. What is the cutoff? How are you marking it? Is it the computer marking it? How did this glitch happen? They need to do all those things before they can move forward. In conclusion, the rewrite of the 2025 JAM for the affected candidates is not a remedy to this action. I think everyone should rewrite it to show fairness, restore hope, and confidence in the system to empower the youth, to let them know, you know what, we messed up, but there is no way we can actually measure how bad that mess up is. So therefore, everyone should do it. And for the students that they claim this glitch didn't affect, for fairness purpose, they should support their peers and be like, you know what? Justice for one is justice to all. We will rewrite this thing. But I don't think that's gonna happen because many students have don't do Orijo. They paid for Orijo. But again, why was just a specific region targeted for that human error? And I will yield on that. Thanks, guys.
All right, thank you, uh, Jimmy. So personally, I would have preferred the situation where, you know, since there was a system error or something, so I mean they can fix it and maybe use that to generate their result, or recompute their result and everything and show them their real results. That's what I would have preferred, because that for me makes more sense than actually subjecting these whole children, all over to say, oh, you're going to rewrite the exams. Because I know what you have to pass through for you to actually write these exams at the first instance. So I'm looking at it from that perspective. I'm not even sure it is fair to even those that their results have already been shown to them, and the alleged error did not affect. I don't think it will be fair to them, if we say, oh, everybody come and write the exam. But anyways, it's good that we're having this conversation and bringing out some of these perspectives, so we can, take it off from here. So, Franklin, you go now. After you, we have okay, wow, yeah. Let's make it quick as possible, please. Franklin, you have the mic. Franklin, are you there? Yeah.
Good evening. I wouldn't take much time. For me, this act by Jamb is actually deliberate. Last year, they came for Mesoma, and when they saw that what they planned was successful, they were now emboldened to do what they did just some few days ago. And if people like Alex did not come out to challenge what they did, nothing will have come out. So, for me, how come Southeast is under Lagos in writing exam? We have 6 regions in Nigeria. Southeast is supposed to be on its own. So there is no way it should be under Lagos in writing exam. But that is what we've seen. If they are writing exam, the whole student should write the exam. If they don't want to write the exam, let them remark this particular student's scripts and give them their score. That is just the proper thing to be done. And for that man to come and be crying on station, that was a fake cry. So that's just where I stand. If they are writing the exam, everybody should write the exam again. If they are not writing the exam, they should remark these student scripts and give them their.
I don't really want to sound how I feel about this particular issue. For crying out loud, I've never, the last time I felt this terrible was after the 2023 presidential election about, situations in this country. I am so upset. I'm angry. I'm sad that, you know, in 2025, we're having this kind of conversation in my dear country. There's nothing you people want to tell me that will make me believe that this is not a targeted act. I mean, how do you explain it? For starters, Southeast is grouped under Lagos. How? And meanwhile, we're supposed to have geopolitical zones in whatever we do in this country. I've never heard Lagos and Southeast. I hear Lagos and West, Lagos and Southwest. But Jamb decided is Lagos and Southeast. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, the Lagos there is the collateral damage, so that people will not say, it's only Southeast. Oh. If they decide to be honest with themselves and give us a comprehensive breakdown of the centers that are affected, you'll still see that the areas in Lagos affected are the areas where you have the Southeasterners dominating. That's number one. Number two, I don't like hearing it's a glitch. This is a fundamental human error where a human being has decided to deal with some certain demography. I mean, whether they want to admit it or not, I'm sure with time, the truth and the real reason behind this inhuman act will come out. When everybody is saying English, we're not, those of us who are fortunate to use computers know what a glitch is. If a glitch happens, it cannot, unless there's a command given to it for that glitch to happen, it cannot affect a particular region in this manner. Thirdly, they're telling us is about 397. I don't even want to believe that, because when it comes to numbers and figures in Nigeria, people always falsify reports and numbers. It could even be more than what we already have, but they don't want it to seem like, this is what it is. I mean, for crying out loud, these children left their homes earlier than usual, that they even, some of them go to school to locate their centers to go and write this exam. And then what do they have? This kind of manipulated reports, results, and we are expected to take it hook, line, and sinker and negotiate with them. What exactly are we even negotiating with Jamb? That's why I'm angry. I'm very upset. I mean, kudos to Alex and, the team, people who, have been at the forefront of this, trying to, ensure that the right thing is done. But what exactly are we even negotiating with Jamb? Must we negotiate when people show their bad attitude and their incompetence? What exactly are we negotiating? To be honest with you, why are these children being asked to go and rewrite this exam from Friday? What exactly do they want to achieve? Because as far as I'm concerned, telling them to go and rewrite this exam from Friday is to prove to us that, I thought you people said that they did not fail. See, they failed. Because these children psychologically, emotionally, mentally have been destabilized within the last 1 week or within the last few days. I mean, for crying out loud, someone has taken her life for this thing. And we are meant to act like it's BAU, clap because someone is crying, and some people that I don't even understand are behind him clapping. What exactly are we negotiating for? And this is a CBT test. Let them go and pull up these records and remark these children's exams and give them their results. If not, I will second the opinion of the person that said, let the whole exam be cancelled and let them rewrite it. If it means the academic calendar in Nigeria changing, let it change. But let people do the right thing and be held accountable and responsible for their actions. These are poor children, teenagers, and they've not even started and they're going through this kind of turmoil. And we're trying to negotiate with Jamb. I mean, come on, guys. I'm just very upset, and I'm trying not to sound how shaken and upset I am. But I mean, please, if people who are close to Alex and Kidoka and people who have been trying, in quotes, to negotiate with Jamb, please tell them that rewriting or resitting for this exam is totally unacceptable by the students, by the parents. Thank you.
No, I agree with you 100% on this. I mean, I'm one of those that believe genuinely deep down in my heart that there's really nothing to negotiate with Jamb at this point, right? There has to be some level of
Absolutely
restriction,
nothing.
right?
There's nothing to negotiate about. Let them
There,
be held responsible and accountable for their actions and pay the
exactly.
price for it. Someone has to pay the price for their ineptitudeness.
I agree
And not
100%.
and not put the poor children into, I don't even know how to explain it. You are now forcing them and be bending them into doing your own will for your own incompetence. I mean, make it
As
make sense to me now.
as the space is going on, I have a lot of jam bites on my DM telling me no to rewriting of results.
Exactly. Not to
They are
rewriting these exams. I
all
had people who traveled from far and were asking me,
exactly,
Auntie, please, where is this place? How do I locate it? And,
exactly.
um, and my exam is by 6 a.m. And you want to put these children through the same process again. I
I
beg
agree.
now. More get conscience.
Mm.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ine, for contributing to the discussion. Let's have a caller. Caller, please take the mic. Make it real
My
quick.
brother, I
Thank
will,
you.
I will, I will. God bless you real good. I greet everyone. Sincerely speaking, well, again, I also support total cancellation of that exam. They should cancel it outrightly for everyone. Because number one, if not for the people that came to speak with confidence about how they train their kid, about how they are so sure that their children or their word cannot get that low mark. So we wouldn't have even knew something happened. And for the fact that Jam now said there's a glitch, you said there's a glitch. You've not told people what you've done to correct the glitch. You've not told people what exactly the glitch is. You also just hide under the umbrella of the glitch and you want people to go again just on Friday to go and write words. Who does that? Who does that? And looking at the number, something that affects over 300, by their own estimation, over 300,000 people. 300,000, something they paid for. They paid you for. Like, you're not doing it for free. The country is not doing it for them for free. They paid you for it. You are now dictating at your own pace for them to go and write what people who are traumatized. I think those who are doing it, I just heard now that some people are doing negotiation. It will be unfair, it will be unjust, and it will be head of that you are negotiating what for them to rewrite an exam for people who are already traumatized, people who are already still going through things, who do not even know their financial status, you don't even know come on, and you're telling them to go and write from Friday. That must be madness. If anything needs to be cancelled, it is this that the entire exam needs to be cancelled and Jamb to go and put their house in order and give all the kids or all the children what it takes, like the date for them to sit down and rewrite their exam. If it's going to affect school calendar, so be it. That is Jamb's cup of tea. And who has paid? No heads have rolled, no nothing. And look at the country. This is pure madness. In a same country, this will not happen. This will not happen. People, the man crying on TV, just telling to go and resign. That's the starting point. I yield right here. Thank you.
Welcome to Jamb News TV.